everybody. I hope you're having a good Sunday morning. Today's actually March 1st, and I just wanted to expand on the message that my guides gave to me actually last Sunday. So last week they had said, and I think I actually had channeled this a few days before that. I want to say I channeled it on a Thursday, but I didn't post it till Sunday because I had some things come up, and I just didn't get to it till Sunday. But the message said, the earth is unsettled. The frequencies are causing disharmony throughout the lands. Many humans will be plagued and impoverished because they refuse to see the truth. You will be living as if there are two realities. This path is easy, but some refuse to believe. They are too stuck in anger and animosity to realize love. Love is the way. Love is the truth. Again, you guys, that was a message that I posted on my business page last week. And I mean, we're all in the space of these transitions that are coming. I know I've been feeling it for a couple of years, but I feel like it's finally here. Like, I almost feel like my guides have been giving us a heads up and like getting us prepared for what's coming. And I do really feel like the next couple of years are going to be very interesting, to say the least. So I decided to pull some cards, and I'm using Colette Baron Reid's Hidden Realms. It's the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms Oracle deck. And I'm not surprised at all with the cards that came up. So the first one that came up was reversed, and it's the Queen of the Light. And it's the same message that we've been getting from my guides for a while now. It says, the Queen of the Light challenges you to shine your light and not give in to fear. So I want to tie this back into the message that I just told you about, that I posted. It's interesting to me because when I read, or when they said many humans will be plagued and impoverished because they refuse to see the truth, it's interesting to me that the coronavirus is happening right now, because when I tune into that, I don't feel like I don't think that my guides are talking about an actual physical illness. I really feel like we're going to be plagued, meaning that we're just like overcome. Not us on this call, but in the community and the collective. It's going to be really important for us to see the truth and to hold on to the light and be rooted and grounded in prayer and in the divine truth that all is well, which is hard to maybe anchor into when you see everything that's going on outside in the collective. I'm sure some people are probably going to get that sickness, but I feel like if you're tuned into the divine, if you're doing your, gratitude work, and if you're doing your, spiritual work, I don't really feel like that's going to be what it is. I feel like the people who in this message are going to be quote unquote plagued are the people who are going to be plagued by lower vibration emotions. And I feel like it's because they won't do the work. And when I said the word impoverished, I didn't feel money. I felt love. Like, I feel like they're separating themselves from love because they refuse to see the truth. So I just thought it was really interesting the way that came through to me on that message, because I really don't feel like I'm sure there is going to be some of that as well, but I feel like as long as you can keep yourself in high vibration, it's all going to be okay. But we also have to do the work. So here's the thing that's really interesting that my guides are bringing to my attention now too, is somebody the other day said, your life just looks so easy. And I had to giggle. I'm like, I say this all the time. You guys, I am in this with you. So don't think that I'm immune to the things that are happening. The only difference is I've been doing the really hard, deep soul work for years. And so the things that I have to go through, or the things that I do go through, or the things that are in my experience don't bother me the same, because I am looking at it from a different perspective. I'm looking at it from a spiritual perspective instead of the human feeling like a victim perspective. And so that is the best way to do this. Do the work that you need to do. Do the healing work. Get a Reiki session. Work on your limiting beliefs. Practice gratitude. Do journaling. Like, all of those things that you need to do the inner work that you need to do, so that you can become detached to what looks like reality to others. And I think that's why they say it's like we're going to be living in two realities, because those of us that can step back and observe and see the spiritual truth of things that are going on, it's going to look like a different reality to us because we're not going to be affected by the people who are still stuck in 3D. And I know that sounds so cliche here the last, year or so. Everybody's throwing out, 3D, three-dimensional world, 4D, 5D. I don't want to get hung up on the definitions of those things, but it really is true that the 3D is when you're just in the human life, you're doing everything that you do just on a normal basis because that's what you do. In 4D, you start to do all of the work. You start seeing that you really do have more say to your life based on what you think and how you feel and what you're putting out to the universe, right? And then in 5D, you're able to detach a little bit more, and you've done the healing work, and so things don't bother you the same. You still have to do the things, you guys. Like I've already said this before too. You still have to do laundry. You still have to clean the house. You still have to do all of those normal human things, but you can do it from a different perspective. That's much more detached and a lot easier to handle. Okay. So then the second card that I got is the Hungry Ghost. Now, normally, this again was reversed. So normally this is about scarcity consciousness and attachment. So reversed, of course, we're going to look at it a little bit differently. And when we look at this card reversed, it's saying to be careful of falling into the fear of lack. Okay. So I really do feel like it's going to be in our awareness. Like everybody's going to be talking about lack. This card says it's whispering in your ear that you'll fail, but you've got to stay above this. Okay. You have to be careful. If you feel yourself falling into that, that's when you need to be like, okay, let me take a minute and get myself out of this state, because this isn't the state that we want to be in. And that actually falls into what I posted this morning, which is my guides were saying that there's fear building, so try not to fall into it. And if you do slip into the fear, just get out as soon as you can. Okay, so again, you guys, gratitude is one of the fastest ways. A quick exercise, maybe taking a walk, like anything. If you feel yourself going down that, oh my God, what's happening, or falling into fear, or those kind of things, do whatever you can as quickly as you can to get yourself out of that. Because we've got to be able to let go of the illusion of lack. And again, it says, accept things as they are, perfect, abundant, meaningful expressions of the divine. It says there will never be enough for the hungry ghosts that challenge you, for the only experience they know is scarcity. It is not your job to feed them. They will lose power. They will lose their power to haunt you. Trust the abundance of spirit. So again, this is a big time of trusting that all is well. Okay. And I know I've said that a lot, but all is well in divine truth. We are the ones who are on the forefront of this as far as showing the light. So we've got to be able to shine our light even in the darkest moments. And then the third card that I got is actually upright, which is good. And it's the Arrow Master. And it's saying, hitting the mark, intention, and detachment. The Arrow Master appears to help you target your intentions and teach you how to shoot straight for the stars. This message is to be deliberate about focusing on your dreams and desires with intention and alignment with your intention with spirit. Then let them fly in the wind, directed by the divine until they reach your goal. The only way to hit this target is to allow the arrow of your intention to fly unencumbered by your eagerness to see it travel exactly the way you want it to go. So this is saying, you guys, that when we launch our intentions, right, we have to just let go of it and let the divine take it from there. You have to detach from how it's going to come. Okay. So you've got, what I'm hearing overall today from the guides is that in March, I feel like there will be some things come up that may be quote unquote hard to deal with. But I'm telling you that if you can stay detached from what it looks like out there, okay, out there meaning on the news and social media, not getting drawn into all the negative things that are happening, and really just focusing within yourself, knowing that all is well, trusting that, being in the divine flow, all of those kind of things, okay? Now that being said, and I'm not saying this to make anybody nervous, but people tend to panic, right? It's that, what is the mentality? The herd mentality, where if one person panics, then everybody's going to panic. And you guys, we see this like in cattle or like, whatever, like one of them gets spooked, they all get spooked, and then everything's going crazy and everybody's running everywhere. And we have to be aware of that, so that we don't get it pulled into that. However, I actually told my kids last week to just stock up on some of the basics, like make sure that they had flour, sugar, salt, water, some of the basic dry beans, rice, those kind of things. Again, not because of fear, but just because I feel like people are going to start panicking. And my daughter actually texted me yesterday and she said, Mom, you're right. She said, we got things just in time because they had gone to the grocery store and they live near Seattle and it's almost wiped out. So just again, you guys, this isn't about going into fear, but it's also about being prepared. I talk to you guys a lot about these messages being like a weather report. Okay. So I'm sure all of you in some form have seen when a storm comes, like even if it's just a weather report that there could be a storm, like people panic, they all rush to the grocery store. And usually it's not that big of a deal, right? But the panic is what causes the problem. So again, not to do anything in panic, but also just be prepared. If you feel like trusting your own self, like if you feel like maybe you should stock up, go ahead and stock up. It's not going to hurt anything. Get things that aren't going to be wasted or, whatever, but just some of the staples would be great, I think, personally. Obviously with Gemini, the way that we live, moving around, we're not able to stock up. We don't have that. And I'm honestly not worried about it. But also if you have the space, go ahead and stock up a little. So I feel like it's a really good message. I feel like the best thing that I can tell you guys for the month of March is just to stay grounded, stay calm, don't feed into the panic. If you're super empathic and you feel it, then be aware of that. Take extra care to take care of yourself, because people that are empathic, those of us that are, we feel it really hard. And a lot of times, especially here lately, I used to be able to really know very clearly if it was mine or if it was somebody else's. It's been a little bit convoluted in that it's not super clear of if it's me or if it's not. So what I've been doing is if it's a lower vibration or a fear or an anxiety, then generally I know that that's not mine. So you may have to adjust the way you tune into the energy of knowing if it's yours or not. And I just decided to pull a couple of the cards from Kyle Gray. It's called Keepers of the Light. And I got the card that says Cosmic Gateway. And it says miraculous changes are occurring. And I believe that too. But remember, with any kind of growth, we usually get growing pains, right? So know that I feel like the next couple of years are kind of growing pains. The second card that I got is the Earth card. So Earth Connection. It says, be mindful of the planet, come back to Earth, stay grounded. So that really resonates and really just backs up what I just said about staying connected, staying grounded, staying calm, being mindful. I really feel like that's the most important thing, especially through this month of March, and really moving forward, because I do feel like we're just moving into new territory that we haven't been in before. And the big thing is not to be afraid of the unknown. Okay, I think that's it for today. I will do my best to keep updating you as I get information from my guides. They've been kind of quiet. You guys will notice that I kind of fluctuate. When they're really chatty, they're giving me messages all the time. I post often. When they don't, I just don't. I don't post unless I know I'm getting a message that's directly supposed to come to all of you here on Patreon. So sending lots of love. I hope you guys are having a great weekend, and I will talk to everybody soon.